jab. Today we're going to cover 2 of the 5 ways of attack, which are progressive indirect attacks and attack by drawing. We're going to use the jab today because it's one of the easiest punches to help highlight these 2 particular techniques. One of the most important uses of the jab is establishing range so you can keep your distance, and it also helps you to develop more combinations. When your opponent has a longer reach than you, then you have to figure out ways to get crafty so you can sneak past their defense. Changing levels is one of the best ways to disrupt your opponent's defensive posture and to sneak in shots and get them to lower their guard. When you're changing levels, you want to be aware of your defensive posture as well, because you are going to be susceptible to your opponent's counterpunches. Knowing which counterpunches your opponent can throw is the biggest part of attacking by drawing. Inviting your opponent into attack by dropping your guard is also one of the easiest ways to attack by drawing. When you're using this particular technique, you have to be in a position so that you can counterpunch right away. Otherwise, it's pointless to draw the attack and not be able to hit back. Depending on how clean the attack was when you landed it, there's a high probability that your opponent will throw the same attack when they counter back. Having this knowledge, we can begin to use the progressive indirect attack now. By using soft and hard feints, we can get our opponent to overcommit to trying to parry or trying to block, and then exploit weaknesses in their defense. Once you get your opponent to overcommit to their defensive maneuver, then you can start to employ your attack. It's easier to land your attacks when your opponent is out of position and off balance than it is when they are ready to go. So the idea is to get them to fully commit to a movement and then walk into another punch. Let's watch this example of the right hand being landed from a jab feint. So as you can see, the first punch wasn't really thrown to actually do damage. It was more of a blinding shot so that the second punch could be landed and the straight right hand from our opponent could be drawn. After falling victim to something this way, what happens is you begin to question your defense, and you begin to question your reflexes, and you commit to each movement. Again, this is just 2 of the 5 ways of attack laid out by Bruce Lee. Stay tuned because we'll have more on the 5 ways of attack and their application in boxing.